Last Thursday, Han Kang won the Nobel Prize in Literature, and I still feel like I'm in a dream or something because this has been the greatest news I've received so far this year. I'm just so happy that there's now a Nobel Prize in Literature out of Korea. And not just that, but it's Han Kang. You see, I've been rooting for Han Kang ever since I got my hands on The Vegetarian years ago, and I knew she would win. I knew it. Last year, when the Swedish Public TV, SVT, interviewed me for my predictions on who the 2023 Nobel Prize in Literature winner was going to be, I confidently said my wild pick is Han Kang, and I was just a year off the mark. Now, a lot of people who have never read Han Kang before must be wondering, well, where do I start with Han Kang? And as the Korean literature guy, my opinion is that you should start with Human X, and I'll explain why. Among her 11 books that have been published in Korean so far, only 4 have been translated into English: The Vegetarian, Greek Lessons, Human Acts, and The White Book. First of all, I don't recommend starting with Greek Lessons because the book feels really dense and abstract at times. There's a lot of exploration about language, how a language works, and what it means. This is a book where you really need to slow down and pay attention to each sentence very carefully. Second, I would not start with The White Book either because it is the most poetic of her works. Fun fact, Han Kang actually started out as a poet. And for the average reader, you might find this a little sparse. This is a book that you need to read multiple times in order to truly appreciate it. Now the big one, The Vegetarian, the Booker Prize winner, the book that basically put Han Kang on the map. While I do think this is also a great introduction to Han Kang, I favor Human Acts slightly more. First of all, Human Acts has what I would frame as a more conventional plot than The Vegetarian. The Vegetarian is essentially 3 different stories that are connected to each other, and compared to that, Human Acts has more of what I would call a narrative core that spans the entire book. Plus, I don't know if this is the right word to describe it, but Human Acts feels a little more down to earth than The Vegetarian. By that, I mean that The Vegetarian is a lot more Kafkaesque. There were just so many times during The Vegetarian where I thought to myself, is this a dream or reality? Now, don't get me wrong, Human Acts is neither an easy nor a light read. This book will break your heart because this book is about the Gwangju Uprising of 1980 when a military dictatorship brutalized the people of Gwangju for simply wanting democracy. So many times while I read this book, I just had to stop and take a break because it was so overwhelming. It's that kind of a book. Han Kang herself is a Gwangju native, and she went through great mental torment writing this book. She even got blacklisted by the government for this book because this book contains the truths that the government has long tried to bury. The Nobel Prize citation goes, "For her intense poetic prose that confronts historical traumas and exposes the fragility of human life." I immediately thought about Human Acts when I heard that. I believe it was a direct nod to this book. And while this book is absolutely devastating, in my opinion, this is the best place to start when you're looking to explore Han Kang. But of course, now that she has won the award, we're about to see a lot more from Han Kang. Remember, she has 11 books that's been published in Korean so far. So here's hoping we'll see all of her Korean works translated. And I also want to say, congrats to Han Kang as well as the translators because they also deserve the credit for their work, like Deborah Smith and Emily Ye Won and Paige Morris also, because she was the co-translator for We Do Not Part, which is going to be a dynamite launch in January 2025. Anyways, I wanted to make this quick video to get people started on Han Kang, and I would like to make a more thorough video that goes more in depth into each book that is currently published in English right now. So thanks for watching, and I hope you read Human Acts, but if not, any Han Kang would do.